on this computer. All right, so welcome everyone. This is the first call of Abundant Yogi Kula, Virtual Mentorship and Mastermind. I'm so glad to have you all here with me. Super excited to begin this 9-week journey together. I'll just start by formally introducing myself a little bit for those of you who just joined. Some of you, this is our first time being on a call together. Most of you have done a call with me in the past. Janelle is the only person who actually knew me in person before getting involved in my offerings in this way. And then for all of you out there who are watching the recording right now, my name is Emily. I am an independent yoga teacher based in Brooklyn, New York. I specialize in private yoga. I have been teaching yoga at this point for 5 years, and I have been focusing on private yoga for about 2-3 years now. And I am the founder of my own private yoga business. It's called Private Yoga Brooklyn. You can check it out at privateyogabrooklyn.com. And I more recently established Abundant Yogi Coaching, which is a coaching and mentorship institute for yoga teachers who are interested in doing what I've done and shifting focus away from group classes, becoming self-employed, focusing on serving students specifically with private yoga. So many of you first connected to me through some Medium articles that I wrote. You might have found me through an article I wrote, got on my mailing list. Some of you have done my free 5-step email course. And then many of you are already members, I think all of you are already members of my free Facebook group, which is called Mastering the Business of Private Yoga. So welcome. So excited that you've all decided to take this step and go a little deeper with me. And basically over the next 9 weeks, as you know, the modules are laid out. Some of them are about teaching itself. Some of them are more about how to approach a private yoga lesson. And I know that you're all, those of you here on this call with me right now, you're all in different stages with your own teaching. You are, some of you are more experienced, you've been teaching for quite a while, some of you are newer teachers, and that's beautiful. And that sort of brings to mind why this is not just a mentorship, but a mastermind group. Because if you're not familiar with the idea of a mastermind group, it's basically like a group of experts coming together to be masters together in a group of a certain topic, and to share their expertise and to share their ideas and to empower one another with everything that everybody knows. So even if you are a newer teacher, many of you had previous careers. You've had careers related to marketing, or you've been an educator, or so there's so much expertise and there's so much resources between everyone in this group that I want, as we move forward, for you to really think of just to see the incredible value in that we're all here to learn from each other. And then, right, so I was saying some of the calls will be geared towards the teaching itself, and then quite a bit of the content of this program will be more geared towards the business side of things, the marketing, the really working towards getting clients, and what we need to do, what steps we need to take to get those clients, and just holding each other accountable to actually doing that work. That's what's so powerful about getting together as a group and building this little smaller community. The free Facebook group is awesome in what we're able to do there, but I do think that being in a smaller group in a focused amount of time with a sort of shared intention, right, and a shared focus is going to be really powerful. So we're here to hold each other accountable. Yeah, awesome. I saw a little chat bubble come up. Oh, cool. All right. So, okay. So that's my introduction. That's who I am. And that's my brief introduction to what we're going to be doing over the next 9 weeks. You all have a schedule that I sent you. We're skipping Halloween. You know that. And just to give a brief introduction to this call, the purpose of this call is introductions and sharing visions. So this is sort of like a soft opening to the program. I want us to get to know each other, practice introducing ourselves and sharing what we're up to, because so much of building your private yoga business is really just about going out and talking about it. And we can start practicing that right here on this call with each other, just, hearing our own voice say, this is what I'm doing. I'm shifting focus to private yoga. This is why I'm doing it. This is what I'm excited about it. And each of you has your own unique individual goals that you're working towards. There might be quite a lot of overlap, but we don't all want the same things. We are all here for slightly different reasons. We do all share this quest to shift focus to private clients. But each of you has your different reasons for why you're doing that, and your different sort of visions and how private yoga fits into the greater picture of what you're doing. So what I want to do is actually give each of you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Just tell me, some of you actually did a little assignment that I already sent you. Can you just raise your hand if you completed the, it was titled Vision, what was the name? Somebody tell me. The title of that document.
Dreams and Vision.
Thank you. Okay. Sometimes when I'm talking on the video for a while, my head starts to spin. So dream and vision, just go like this if you did the dream and vision exercise, and it's not a big deal if you didn't get to it yet. Some of you, I maybe just sent it to the other day, and I know you're all busy. Okay, cool. So even if you didn't get to it, if you did do that exercise, that was just a sort of tool for you to get some juices flowing and to get clear and get focused and spend some time really sitting down and thinking what am I trying to do with private yoga, and trying to get specific about it, right? Because I say this a lot in the Facebook group and in my content, I have this belief that when we have vague intentions, we get vague results. Right? If we're just kind of yeah, I think I want to do some private yoga. I think that would help me out financially, and I think I would really like it, and that would be cool. We might be getting maybe a client here or there, but if we get really specific and intentional, and we're this fall, I am picking up 3 private clients. I am going to charge X amount because that's my rate, and I'm sure of it. And, this is my process for finding those clients, and I'm going to follow that process, then we get specific results. So vague intentions, vague results, specific intentions, specific results. So I sent you that exercise so you could start getting more specific. If you didn't get to it yet, do it this week. Try to do everything I send you. It's very much type of program where the more you put in, the more you'll get back. So try to do all the homework. I'm going to give you opportunities for extra credit, which is really just my way of saying do as much as you can. But yeah, would somebody like to start? Just hop in and introduce yourself. And if you did the exercise, you can base what you share on some of what you did with that exercise. And you can also tell us what came up during that exercise. And if you didn't do it, just tell us who you are, what you're up to, how does private yoga fit into your vision, into your goals right now, and try to be as specific as possible. We're going to try to get specific. How many clients are you working on finding this fall, this year? What would you like to have in 2 years? Did I call on someone? So cool, virtual classroom. I'm going to call in Helena.
Okay. Well, in my day job, I'm an MRI tech. And can you guys hear me? And I would like to not do that so much because it kind of sucks. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm ready for change. And I have a little bit of my own journey with chronic pain and pelvic pain and all that stuff. And so I've done a lot of education for yoga, pain science and yoga, how to downregulate the nervous system, that kind of thing. So I would really like to cultivate a yoga practice that centers on one-on-one or even really small groups like 2 to 3 people, so that I can help teach other people the kind of tricks that I've learned and how to manage pain. And I want to focus not just on asana, it's the whole 8 limbs kind of thing. So what that looks like on the exercise is that like I want to work 3 days a week in my MRI job, because that's what I like own that, so to speak. So I'm obligated to do that. I don't want to have to pick up anything extra, which is what I have to do now to get by on my finances. And so, yeah, I don't know if this is realistic or not, but I would like to do like 8 clients a week. So like 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, done kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm also looking to do Zoom, like online teaching as well. And eventually I'd like to make an online course as well. Yeah. So I don't have any group classes that I'm teaching at the moment, because you throw a stick in the valley and you hit a yoga teacher. There's so many yoga teachers, it's really saturated. And because of my day job, it's really hard for me to have a regular schedule. I have like a rotation set situation. So I'm trying to get off the ground like a group class for public pain for in the fall. I'm struggling to get participants. I only have 1 so far, and it's starting in 2 weeks. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, the other reason why I want to get into teaching yoga more is because I do feel that eventually working in healthcare is not going to be viable for me because of my health issues. So I'm trying to have something else that I do that is, I don't know, just different. Yeah. There is a flexibility to my job, but it's also, though, you just have to be there a certain amount, and it can be challenging for me. Yeah. That's it.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Thank you. I forgot. I might jump in a little bit in between each introduction, just if I hear something like big that jumps out at me. And then I really want this first call to be about like building community that is supportive and encouraging, and just kind of showing up for each other, committed to one another's dreams. So I will also invite like 1 or 2 people to just like jump in and give the person who just shared some words of encouragement and like some like you can do it type of feedback. But I'm curious, Helena, like where does like, I don't know if this is realistic, where does that come from?
I don't know. I think that part of the problem for me is because no one knows who I am. Like, I don't teach any group classes. I'm a newer yoga teacher. I'm not connected to any studios. Like, it's just like I'm trying to build this from nothing. And so I'm also, I don't know, I just like the prices that I'm going to need to charge in order to make enough money to justify walking away from my other job is not it's not going to be cheap for people. Like, I need to charge $75 to $100 an hour in order to make up for the other money I would be making. And that doesn't even really cover the pension that I'll lose out on. So, I don't know. I just feel like, how am I going to find these clients? How are they going to connect to me? It just seems like I'm grasping at thin air. kind of, because I don't have a yoga community, really.
Right.
I don't even go to a studio in town because of my pain issues. No one really gets it. It's hard to find teachers who can adapt for me, and
Okay. I want you to, this is your personal homework, and this probably applies to everyone. I want you to watch your mindset and watch these, like, they're almost like red light bulbs, like the noise that that like kind of means like shutting down, like shutting something down. Like, just watch that going off in your mind about your dreams.
Yeah.
And like try to replace some of these thoughts of, oh, is this realistic, and is this, will anyone go for this, and nobody knows me, and just really try to like dare to replace that with like, well, everything starts from zero and I'm no different. Like, because nobody knew who I was either. I started from nobody,
Yeah.
Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like what, I don't know. I'm thinking, like, trying to think of big corporations, and all I can think of.
But also, like, my husband and I, we have a small business. It's a tree care company, and like we started with nothing as well. But like, I don't know, he had like a community on a like local small island that's close to where we live, that he used those connections as a springboard to get going. And I feel like I don't have a springboard at all. That's kind of what it comes from a bit. Yeah. Right.
So everyone starts from nobody knows me. That's literally every business starts, because there is no other starting point. I mean, I guess, you could say it's like everything starts from zero, but then it might seem like some things don't. But really they did. Like, if you trace it back far enough, everything did start from zero.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like maybe you could, if you wanted, you could spend a few years focusing on groups to build yourself up as a group teacher. However, I've said this in our Facebook group a lot, like, your group classes is not necessarily where you're going to find private clients.
Yeah.
So you might waste your time if the only reason you're teaching groups is to try to become known for privates later. That may not be where you find private clients anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the universe in my brain, when I think about doing that, is just like, no. Like, I just don't think that's the right way for me to go. It's not going to work for my financial situation. It's not what I want.
That's beautiful. That's your intuition.
Yeah.
You need to listen to it. Very good. Okay. Renee.
Forgot to unmute. Hi. Okay, so I'm Renee of Staten Island. I could relate to some of what Helena was saying. Yeah, hi. Because I'm sort of starting over too. I came from the past 10 years, I was teaching movement to kids. So I'm not totally going into a different direction. Because I was doing like dance with them and like scarf juggling and a little bit of yoga here and there. And so I got my certification a year ago to wanting to bring it into the kids, which I did last year. And then at the end of the year was really feeling like this just strong thing inside of me where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to create my own reality of employment, basically. And what am I really passionate about? And I'm kind of in mid-life now, and I was like, I want to do something now that's really meaningful. And yoga was a lot of that. And the idea of like working one-on-one with people really appealed to me right away. Like, I love one-on-one interaction. I do tarot readings for people and things like that. So that's kind of where I went with that. But And I asked a few friends, so I got a few like friends that I'm doing some private work with, but it's not, you know, they're friends, so it's not really like consistent, and it's not, you know, what I would regularly charge. But it was enough to give me a taste of like, oh, I really do like this. This is really, you know, really cool. So I'm working on that, and I'm kind of feeling like, yeah, starting sort of new, like not kind of entering into this world. I do have a studio I go to regularly, and I taught a kids class over the summer, which was fun. But as far as like, you know, finding private clients and things like that, it's like I feel like I'm starting fresh in a way. But I'm trying to have an open mindset. I'm trying to have a mindset of abundance. I just like am at a place where I need like a lot of direction and guidance, which is why I'm here. So that, and I'm also doing a couple of online things. I'm doing some online courses for yoga teachers, the Upward Facing Business Academy, where I'm working on creating a program for an online yoga program for women who have had childhood trauma. So that's like a year-long process to create that. And I'm also through that same, an extension of those courses, getting certified in chakra therapy. So, which is like really fun and exciting and interesting. So yeah, that's kind of where I want to go is with the private base and the online work in those areas. And I also do like a lot of writing and art, so finding ways to integrate all of those passion projects together.
Beautiful. Tell us a specific goal for like how many clients you're working towards having.
Well, when I filled out the sheet, it said how many clients per week would you like to teach? And I kind of felt intuitively like maybe 6 to 8. A small enough number, well, a big enough number that it's like, you know, makes sense and is, you know, financially a good thing, but also a small enough so that I can, you know, give like good service and good attention to people. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what that would really feel like since I haven't done it yet, but those were the numbers that came into my head.
Awesome. Renee, is your schedule kind of wide open right now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and this is also for everyone. This is an important question. Like, if you were to pick up a few clients in the next few weeks, how many are you really available for right now with your current schedule? Like, what if you could have however many clients in literally just a few weeks from now, how many would that be for you, Renee?
I guess I could, if it could happen right away. I mean, I'm available really for that now. I mean, I have a few things here and there throughout the week, but since I left that full-time job, you know, I have large blocks of time pretty much every day of the week.
So 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. 7. 7's a lucky number.
Awesome. Yeah.
7.
I want you to like make that your mantra. Like, I am available for 7 private yoga clients right now. I'm ready for them. My schedule's wide open for them. Look at your wide open schedule and imagine yourself scheduling them in, you know, imagine them contacting you and you being, you know, eagerly picking up. Yes, I have availability tomorrow. Yes, I have availability next week.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. And can I have one more person, anyone, just give Renee some words of encouragement, tell her she can do it. Anyone, come on.
Right, Renee, you can do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's great that you have that wide open schedule. That's like a gift that you can utilize, you know? That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm trying to like keep my time structured so that I'm doing like really good things with that time. But as far as like, you know, being able to get clients, it's great. Yeah.
Awesome. Is anyone dying to go next? Cheryl. No, Laura. Cheryl.
I want Cheryl to go next.
Listen to you, Laura. So where am I now? What was the question again?
Just introduce yourself.
Oh.
Very, very briefly, just who you are as a teacher, but then more like, what's your vision? What's your goal? What are you working on? What can we support you with?
Okay, so I'm Cheryl here in Westchester. I think I've been teaching for like over 3 years, and I don't know, this is just fun for me. I've run a bookkeeping business for the last 10 years, and I am bored. And I just find yoga to be fun. People enjoy my classes. But I also find like group classes takes a lot out of you. And I love alignment. I love getting people into stuff, even when I can't do it. I think it's just fun trying to do a forearm balance, and one day we will nail it. And to see people let go and just be so playful, I love that aspect of it. So I decided lately, you know what? All the classes that I have were just handed to me. I did not really have to go to a studio and, beg to be on their sub list, because that's what it's like in New York here. And people just generally just gravitate to me. They think I actually know what I'm doing. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing, but I just have fun. I do know the book stuff, but then I noticed that a lot of times after class, people will stop me and, oh, Cheryl, how did you do this? Or what were you talking about with that? So with that, I'm like, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I need to just start focusing on working one-on-one with people, because I'm giving away this for free. I'm spending 30 minutes just playing with someone before and after classes. Why not, rechannel all the business knowledge I have and doing other things successfully into doing this? And it's just been working out. I have already have some private clients I'm working with, and I just see where I can actually be successful in this venture, and I'm just having fun with it.
Awesome.
I don't know.
How many new clients would you like to have in the next few weeks?
8 more.
Okay. Do you have room in your schedule for it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So repeat after me. I am available.
I am available
for 8 more private clients.
For 8 more private clients.
Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
Just dare to say it, and believe it and put it out there.
And you know what? You're so right about it. And I realize that I am not owning it enough. And I think that's what we need to do as yoga teacher, is to really own it. If you are teaching a class, I'm subbing for someone tomorrow, and I forgot to do it today in my own class to say, hey guys, listen, I'm available for private. I think if we're trying to make that transition, we need to start saying that. And I think that's something as a group we need to work on. Helene, it doesn't matter that no one knows you. Every time you talk to someone, get in there that, listen, I teach yoga. Bring up your pain management and how you're dealing with it, and find a way to introduce what you are transitioning into in that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah. And start everyone, start questioning, why does it sometimes feel uncomfortable or scary or makes you nervous to talk about it, to share the thing that you're building right now, the transition that you're trying to create? Ask yourself, why? Why does that make me so nervous? Why does that make me scared? And really look at that.
I think that for my case, there's a stigma with pain and women's pelvic pain, and it affects you. Even I'm an extremely open person. I'm a classic oversharer. I basically have almost no boundaries, and even I have a hard time bringing it up, because I just feel like, oh man, it's so boring. Like no one wants to hear about this, you know, like it's depressing. It's sad. Like talking about pain is not fun. Like, so it's like a mental block there, you know. And for a lot of people, it's like a little secret that they have that they don't want to share. So I don't know, I need to kind of, I think that's a mental block that I need to get past. And it's also a huge problem in the chronic pain community, because I could go on for 10 minutes, I won't.
I do want to address that quickly. But like, okay, so I actually think, yeah, if you can get over that, and if you can get over that, I don't want to bring it up because pain is, you know, it's depressing.
So negative.
If you can get over that and spread the word about what you do like wildfire, you will become a hero to all of the people that you will reach with it who you wouldn't have otherwise. Even if it's like one person, even if it's two people, even if it's not your goal right away, even if it's not 7 clients? 8. Even if it's not 8 right away, like even just, I want everyone to really listen to this. Like, you all have a gift, and you all know, you're all called to work privately for a reason, because you know that that's going to be a more aligned way for you to work. You know that that's going to be the next level for you. That's going to be the way you're going to be of highest service possible to the people that you serve. And by holding back in your marketing, by not spreading the word, by staying stuck and, I don't know the perfect way to put it out there, so I'm not going to put it out because I don't know the perfect way yet. By holding back, you're depriving people of accessing working with you. You know, we get very stuck in thinking, nobody would really want to work with me because I'm not that great. Try doing a 360 on that and realizing that by not putting it out there, by not spreading the word about this incredible work that you do, you're depriving people of the opportunity to get help from you. And they need your help, and you'll be a hero to them once you get them in the door. But you can't get them in the door without spreading the word, without doing marketing, right?
I wrote down that sentence you said, embracing my gift will allow me to be of highest service possible. I like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Wait, where were we? Cheryl was sharing, and can I get somebody who hasn't said anything yet, like Laura or one of the Emilys or Jessica, somebody just jump in and give Cheryl some encouragement, or Elena, anybody.
Hi, this is Emily Shan. Cheryl, I think you're such an encouraging person, and I feel like that's why people always gravitate towards you. So just keep believing. I feel like you will get the clients that you are available for.
That's so sweet.
Hi. I think that, Helena, if you're experiencing this pain that you are, I think that it would actually be really comforting to that community that you're referencing to know that as a teacher, you're going through that same thing and you know how they feel and what they've been through. So I think to open up that discussion would actually be probably a huge sense of relief for people and students who are experiencing the same thing that you have been.
Thank you. Yeah. Doesn't it feel good to have like a group of people like kind of on your team? Like, yes, we can do this and we believe in each other. It's really powerful. Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go next? Should I call on someone? I feel like I'm forgetting about the people that don't have video. So maybe Emily, not Shan, other Emily.
Okay, hi, this is Emily.
What's your last name again?
Bashford.
Emily Bashford. Okay, you've got the mic.
Awesome. So I left my corporate job a year ago, and I feel like I've kind of left that story, that image. And for the past 9 months or so, I've been working on rebranding myself and creating my new path and my new story. So right now in life, I've been teaching yoga for about 5 months for group classes, and that's been a great foundation and experience for me. And I'm ready to up level and to really build my business in healing and health and in movement and yoga. So when I did the homework, I wrote down I would like to have 12 private clients a week. And for me, that seems to allow me to work 3 to 4 days a week. I don't know how that would work energy-wise, because with my current experience for group classes, I have been running around the city teaching at different studios, and I got exhausted after the end of the summer. So I'm really ambitious because I want to really make this my full-time job, have sustainable income and salary to fulfill half of my why. But I guess just with experience, I'll learn what my limit is for energy output, if it will allow me. And for the why of why I'm doing this, I'm really passionate about health and wellness. And this summer, I learned more about my purpose and my passion and got some more fire in my belly to move me forward in serving others and I guess just exploring life and being of service. So this is a really exciting journey for me, and I hope to continue and really see my dreams into reality. My trouble in the past couple of months has been I write out my dreams and then they don't happen. So this is my commitment to really seeing the dreams happen. But I am proud of myself of somebody saying they're at 0 right now. Nobody knows them. And a couple of months ago, I was at 0. Nobody knew me in this new industry, this new field, even in my city. And now I have that foundation of people know who I am, and I know some people, and I have a little bit of that connection foundation to start with. So definitely, if you set the intention to get somewhere, even if it's just an inch, celebrate the wins of the inch, because it's a really big accomplishment. So that's all for me.
Thank you, Emily. So you think you'd like to have 12 clients. You're maybe still figuring if that's going to be quite right in terms of what you have energy for. I think for you and for everyone, like, you know, I've been saying, and we were interacting a little bit in the Facebook group, like people were saying, oh, this exercise was hard because I feel like I'm supposed to be realistic, and it, you know, there's the thing I would really want, but maybe that's not realistic. I think that was like one of the first things somebody who went, Helena went first. She was like, I don't know if this is realistic, was the first thing she said. Like when, and this kind of ties into a lot of sort of like the tone of what Emily just shared, like, let yourself dream, you know, and let yourself get really clear. Like if you could have it exactly your way, how would you have it? And if you're saying you want 12 clients, but that's really coming from a place of like, well, I think that's what I would need in order to like fulfill this sort of like social expectation that I'm supposed to work with X amount of numbers per week, or I think that's what I would need to, right? Because that comes in. We think we're supposed to work like the same amount as other people or something. Like, okay, well, most people work 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week. But really, like, be honest with yourself. Like, your dreams are between you and the universe, or, you know, you and yourself, or you and God, whatever you want to call it. Like, be really clear with yourself. Like, maybe the truth is that you don't want to work that much. And if that would be more nourishing and fulfilling to you, then let yourself have that, like at the very least for the sake of an exercise, right?
Mm-hmm. Would you say it's better, because I had trouble with this exercise of short term versus long term. So short term, I think I would be able to charge X amount, which means I would need 12 clients to make my bills. But my long term dream of when I can fulfill the value of doubling the price or something a little bit higher, it would allow me to work less. Which one is the best stepping stone to achieving the dreams, do you feel?
Just to clarify, like I think are you asking, like, do I think it's useful to have a short-term goal and a long-term goal?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think, yeah, I think it's perfectly reasonable. And I can relate to this from my own experience, to like start at a certain rate, knowing that you plan to increase your rates later, because as you gain experience and as you build like long-term relationships with your clients, you absolutely can raise your rates. That's what professionals do across the board. All kinds of independent professionals, services raise their rates, right? It's probably happened to all of you with like your therapist or your, I don't know, maybe even like your plumber, right? Like people raise their rates. Your house cleaner. I know my therapist is like always raising her rates, right? That's like sort of a stereotype too, but yeah. So I will say, like, sure, you can have like a sort of short term, like this is where I want to start out, and with in mind, I will be raising my rates later on. But also don't start too low, because the lower you start, the sort of harder time you're going to have inching your way up to whatever that like later on long-term goal is. And like I have raised my rates multiple times in the past couple of years, and raising your rates is a process, and it's like an emotional thing. So I'm here to support you with that when the time comes. Reach out to me for help. But yeah, don't start too low. If you can really kind of like work yourself up to not starting too low, you're going to be glad later that, you know, when the time comes to raise your rates, it's, you know, you won't have to raise them as much, or you'll, you know, be able to raise them to an even higher rate. Does that help, Emily?
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
And I'll just add, like, give yourself permission, you know, like in general, like get in the habit of giving yourself permission, period. Like give yourself permission to dream, give yourself permission to want to work a little less than other people work, if that's what you truly want. You know, it doesn't make you a bad person. Like it just means you know yourself and you take care of yourself and you dare to dream. Give yourself permission to charge a little more, put it out there. Maybe, you know, you don't know, maybe some people won't go for it, maybe some people will, but you won't know until you try. And you can always slide lower, right? But I think it's easier to slide if people ask you if you can work with them for a little less. It's a little harder to suddenly raise your rates by quite a lot on people, you know?
Right.
Okay. Can one person jump in and give Emily some encouragement?
Emily, I like what you said. Your dreams are between you and the universe, or whatever you believe in, and I think that's really helpful. And Emily, that I guess there's a couple Emilys. It's on the call that I can't see. There's 3. Okay, I think that's really good advice, and so much that I wrote down myself. But that's like a good way to start, is just, you know, and that will help you keep focused too.
Right. Does anyone else, like, just one more little cheerlead for Emily, whose name doesn't display on the screen, so I keep forgetting the last name.
Pause.
Is she frozen? Anyone else?
Yeah, she's frozen.
Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah, she's frozen.
Oh, my connection just kind of wonked out. How about now? Am I moving?
Oh, there she is.
Okay.
You froze on us.
You were frozen on us.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually all froze on me too.
Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, Emily Bashford. Does anybody have just like one more quick cheerlead? It could be as simple as like, I believe in you, or you can do it.
I guess I'll just say that teaching 12 classes a week to 30 people in one room is probably going to be more exhausting than teaching like 12 classes to just one solo person. Simply because, I mean, I know myself as like an empath, I pick up everyone's energy like that when I walk into a room. Whereas like when you're just dealing with one person, it's one energy and you're not going to be like filtering through everyone else's. So I feel like you could possibly do it if you really wanted to shoot for it, honestly.
And I think also, Emily, just be positive. It will come. You will get the clients you need. You will be able to make your bills. And I'm talking from experience here when I say the less energy you put towards focusing on how much should I charge, you know, you have to write it down. You have to set these realistic goals, but don't allow it to consume you. You know what I mean? Are you there? Maybe not.
Oh, is she frozen somehow?
I think she is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Great.
I was just on mute.
Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So I do want to just kind of like keep us moving along. So we need to hear from Jessica, Elena, Laura, and Janelle, right? Is that okay? So any of
Emily Shan.
And Emily Shan, sorry, because I don't have your video. It's a little bit like, it's like a blind spot a little bit. Jessica, do you want to jump in? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Okay. Hi, my name is obviously Jessica, and I've been teaching for about 2 years now. I'm certified to teach flow and a stationary series. Also certified to teach students who have sustained traumatic brain injuries. So teaching those students has been really fulfilling. I also most recently went through a training called Booty Yoga. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's B-U-T-I, not like booty. What?
I so want to do that. I keep missing the training here in New York.
So I was actually it was a really good learning experience. So I really love it as a student, but as a teacher, I don't really connect with it. I don't think that it's something I'd want to teach. But so that was actually very like a really good lesson to learn. But I would like to teach, I think my goal is between about 5 and 7 students per week. I am currently teaching at 3 different studios, and I've been practicing for about 5.5 years. So I'm definitely connected to, I live in Philly, by the way. I'm definitely connected to the community in my area, the yoga community in my area. But it's still challenging because a lot of people think, well, why would I pay X amount for a private when I can go to a studio and pay, you know, whatever it is per session, $10, $20, whatever it is. So that's definitely a challenge. But I have 2 daughters that are 6 and 8. So it's really important to me that I'm there in the morning to get them on the bus, and I'm there in the afternoon to get them off the bus. So I'm able to do that now with my schedule, but working those privates around that schedule is really important to me. Plus, it's important to me that they see that you really can do what you love. And it's important to me that they see it's coming from me. That's kind of it for me.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful and inspiring and touching what you said about like wanting to model for your daughters that it is possible to like do what you want to do in life and to like do your own thing.
Yeah.
I kind of identify with that actually because my own mother built her own business as a life coach. And I tell her all the time, like, I don't think I would be doing the things I'm doing if I didn't see you do it.
Right. Right.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. I want them to know they can do whatever it is they want to do. And it's important that I lead by example. So pre-children, I was in sales, medical sales, and I know that that's not something I want to go back to. It was just not my thing at all. And I don't want to go back to that. So I sort of was, when I found you, Emily, I was sort of in this place where I was thinking, do I go back to work full time doing something that I know isn't fulfilling for me, that I don't love? Or do I continue on this yoga path? But, financially it's difficult. And that's when I found your article about teaching privates. And for some reason, that was just something that never even occurred to me, which is, I don't know why, but it just didn't.
Well, I think you do know why, partially because you said it before. You have a belief that people in your area would not be interested in private lessons because why would they pay more for a private when they could just go to a group class for cheaper, right? And I really when I heard that, same sort of like what I told Helena, like watch the mindset, because there's like a mental block there, and it's like that like a red X going off.
Right.
Sorry if that's obnoxious, but because like that's I could see that that's a block for you, because that's mindset. That's something that you believe, and I kind of want to ask you, like, do you know that for a fact? Like, have you done a question? Have you done a survey of all the people in your area, asking them like how interested they are in like private lessons versus group classes?
No. So, I mean, a lot of people have said that they're interested in private yoga. It's something that they would like to do. So no, nobody has actually said to me, oh, why would I do that when I can go to a studio and pay $5 or, whatever it is. Nobody has said that to me. It's just sort of something that I was thinking beforehand. I don't know why. I guess just because, I don't know, like the way the world operates. I don't know.
It's possible that like maybe that's true for you. Maybe in your life, like you've never paid for a private lesson because you love group classes and they're affordable, and like you connect with group classes. Like I imagine if you hadn't, you probably wouldn't be a teacher in this moment, because your journey was with group classes. And that, so it's like we get stuck in these patterns of thinking because it's like our own experience. But we really want to watch out for, like, just because something is our experience does not by any means mean that that's what everyone in the area experiences. And so start brainstorming, like, who are the people in my area that would be like way more likely to pay more for private and way less likely to ever drop into a group class, because they're out there. They're just a little different than you. They're not quite you. Maybe they are higher income. Maybe they do make more money, and so to them it's not a huge difference. To them, they're kind of like more interested in more expensive things. Maybe they have injuries or are way too busy, or I talk about this in the group. Like there are types of people out there that would be way more likely to do privates than ever show face in a group class, and you just have to.
Oh, you're frozen. No, I definitely agree with that, because I think that people who are new to yoga come to classes and can be uncomfortable because they're thinking, I'm not bendy enough, I'm not flexible, and I don't know the names of the poses. So I think for a lot of people, it can be something that's really uncomfortable. So, doing it in a one-on-one setting is better for them, is more comfortable. So I hear what you're saying there.
Yeah. Meditate on that daily. And because why would anyone pay for this? That becomes a mantra, and that becomes like the energy that you're putting out. But meditate on like, there's a lot of people who can't touch your toes crowd, and they're just dying for a private session. Meditate on that, align with that, and bring that up in conversations when you're out in the world, and people are like, so what are you up to? Be like, well, I'm focusing on private yoga and you can say to them like, do you know anyone who really like would benefit from yoga, but they'd be sooner caught dead than going to a group class because they're like that I can't touch my toes type, you know? And they might be like, oh my God, yes, my friend Jim, or oh my God, yes, my aunt's friend's sister Lorraine is just like that, and they'll refer.
Yeah.
Right? Good.
Okay.
Let's see, Laura, give Jessica some love.
Jessica, you can do it. Also, I'm so glad you're in this group. I'm actually really impressed with everybody so far who I've heard speak. So I think, I don't think you need to go back to medical sales to do this.
That'd be bad.
Thank you, Laura. I am like really impressed with everyone too, and I'm having this moment that I have all the time, which is that like it's like this. It's like, wow, yoga teachers are the coolest. They are like the best people. They're mostly women. They're strong women. They're empowered women. They are so passionate about what they do. They're so in service of others. And then I'm like, okay, they need to know how to make money. Because that is the thing that they're struggling with a lot. And I'm like not okay with it. I'm like, we need to know how to make money doing what we love, build profitable businesses, right? Because that's, for many of us, like that's the one thing we're struggling with, right?
Emily, I want to add one thing to Jessica. I think it's awesome that you want to set an example for your daughters. I think that's like a good shift for the future of the world and our planet and everything. So that's really big and great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janelle. Let's hear from Elena.
All right, so I really honestly want to dive into privates because I just moved to a new city, and I used to teach full-time group classes, like 12 classes a week plus teacher trainings at a studio on the east side of the state. And I just like had this really big like pull to leave because I was so burnt out. I literally had like nothing to give to my students because I wasn't taking the time to practice myself. And there was just a really bad experience I had there with a male employee. So I was like really empowered when I was leaving. I moved to the west side of the state so I could be near my boyfriend. And I kind of sparked up this idea that like I just really want to start like a woman's, like not just private yoga, but like a woman's program that includes yoga. And it would be one-on-one. It's mainly like a self-study I want to do. So it'd be like 4 or 8 weeks per se. And my hardest thing right now is since I'm in a new city, like no one knows me yet. And I'm coming from like a side of the state where I had like a really big following and I really enjoyed teaching over there, but I wasn't really, really happy. So moving out here, I was like, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to like wipe my slate clean and just see what I can build.
It was very brave of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to like just acknowledge that your courage for, you know, you weren't happy and you had this idea that moving, relocating, you'd be happier, and it was very brave to take that risk and to go after it.
Yeah, and my biggest thing too, I guess, is like I know my why. Like I know why I want to help people, and especially women, like why I want to primarily work with them, but I don't know the how is the thing. Like that's my biggest roadblock, and I'm like trying to come up with ways, like by teaching little pop-up workshops and things like that. And like I work for Lululemon, and that's mainly so I can make connections with people. But other than that, like I'm really not having an easy time finding anyone that's interested.
Okay. what have you been trying? And when you say interested, do you mean in like, have you created a program yet? Have you designed one?
Yep. Yeah. So I officially like launched it and I started marketing it on my Facebook and Instagram, but I guess I just don't know like the best way to go about that. And I don't know if like seeking people out is the best way or if letting people come to me is the best way. And I feel like that's mainly what has happened to me in the past is people would just come to me for privates. But now that I don't know anyone out here, it's kind of hard to let that dynamic happen. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you're coming from a place where you didn't have to try very hard before because people would just approach you.
Right.
Now you're in a totally new situation because nobody knows you. And so congratulations, you're in the perfect program and you're learning from the perfect mentor because people did not just approach me for private yoga. I had to put it out there. And what I want to say to you, and this is very much for everyone, is that like, don't get stuck on what is the perfect way to market. What is the perfect strategy? Don't let that slow you down. Don't let that get you stuck because I can't tell you the perfect strategy. I can make some suggestions. Nobody can tell you the perfect strategy. They can make some suggestions. There are some very expensive programs out there that you can invest in and they'll tell you, I'm going to give you the perfect strategy. It may or may not work. But like what I can tell you from my own experience is like if you show up every day and try everything and get into a flow and push yourself a little bit to try things you wouldn't normally try, to experiment with marketing, to, like try something different every day, to take action every day and to not give up, you will eventually figure out what works well for you. And you'll build momentum and one client will turn into 2 and 2 will turn into 4. It's just like it is more difficult to begin momentum than to maintain it. That is a physical law. That's a physical law.
So right. Yeah, I really like that actually, and it makes a lot of sense. But I just was like feeling so stagnant where I was on the east side of the state, and I knew, I was going to have this experience coming out here. I knew it was going to be difficult, and I kind of just wanted that because I was like, I need something to push me. Like I need to grow.
How long have
So I'm kind of happy I'm struggling, honestly, a little bit through this because I'm learning. But yeah, definitely open to advice, and I'm excited to learn from everyone.
How long have you been on the west side of the state now?
It's been about 2 months.
Okay, so you're still, don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing is I am so type A in that manner. Like I just want to get things done like so fast and be super productive, but that's just not how everything's panning out, and that's fine.
Just embrace the time right now to replenish you, to take care of you, and the right people will come.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I agree. Like, be you, be your authentic self, go out and do things that you love doing and take awesome care of yourself and like, don't hold back from meeting people and sharing about your program with excitement, with, with authenticity and joy and like people will be attracted to your energy. I'm gonna talk about that a lot over the next 9 weeks. Like ultimately, the reason people choose to work with you, the reason people choose to sign up for something with you is not because it has the most attractive features or because you are the most experienced or the most, have the most credentials or are even the most famous. I've never been famous, so I don't know if maybe there's something to being famous. But like, I mean, I can even ask you guys, like, why are you all here in this group with me? Why did you sign up for this? My guess is because you've watched my videos where I am my authentic self and I am, sharing my light with you all. And you've connected to something, whether it was through my video or the way I wrote my article or, the way we connected over the first time we had a call, some of you. Like, that's why you chose to work with me, because I'm just being my authentic self and sharing my light with you. So do that, Elena.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah. Elena, you kind of signed up like last minute. Like I'd never even heard of you. So I'm not sure why you signed up.
Well, I've been in the group for a while, and
okay.
I just knew I could learn from you, and you're right. I was definitely attracted to your personality. So.
Right. Like we're attracted to people's energy. We're attracted to their personality. So just like go out into the world, go to parties, go to events. You know, if you don't have time for that, like whatever, like talk to the other parents at the bus stop, or, you know, talk to the people online at the pharmacy, or in the waiting room at, you know, your appointment. But like share your light with people. And when they ask you what you do, tell them the thing you are building. Don't tell them what you've done in the past. Tell them, like, somebody asked you what you do. You have like, 30 seconds to 60 seconds that's like an opportunity right there to share something with them. Are you going to tell them, well, I used to work in, what was it? Pharmaceuticals, Jessica?
That was Jessica.
Pharmaceutical. Are you going to tell them, well, I used to work in pharmaceuticals? Or are you going to tell them, you're going to look them in the eye and say, I teach private yoga lessons for people that think they can't touch their toes. Right?
I love that.
And they're going to be like, really? You do? Tell me about that. Because that's the thing you're excited to talk about. Don't tell them the thing you're like bored of. You know?
Right.
Awesome. Okay. We need to hear, is it, am I right? We still need to hear from Emily, Shan, Laura, and Janelle?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 11 past 9. I want to let you guys go by half after. So I think we're good if we like kind of like five minutes each. Laura, you want to go?
Sure. Hi, everybody. This has been good for me. I'm usually like a big talker, and I took tonight to practice doing more listening and not jumping in. So I was doing my opposite thing tonight. So I was a dancer for 10 years, and then I worked in publishing for 18 years as a managing editor. And publishing is dying, and I've been doing yoga for about 23 years, and I've been practicing meditation and studying Buddhist philosophy for about 8 years. And I got so heartbroken at my job. I knew that I couldn't stay, and my partner Bob encouraged me to dream, and what came back was the desire to teach yoga, which I had sort of not, that was the road I didn't take 18 years ago. And I said, I don't want to die and not be a yoga teacher. So I enrolled, and I took it with a woman who I just adore, and it was a 9-month program. We just met once a month. And over the course of that, I decided to leave my corporate job and to teach yoga and meditation. I'm still doing a certification to teach mindfulness that ends in October. And I've been at this for since mid-June, so not very long. I just love teaching yoga so much. That's when I just feel like the best, when I'm creating the class, when I'm teaching the class, that's when I'm happiest. So I just keep kind of following that, right? Like that's what makes my heart sing. I had really high expectations for how many privates I'd have by the beginning of August, and I haven't met them. Because I'm learning to build this business from nothing. So that's why I'm here in this group. And I wrote 10 to 15 students per week. The 15, I don't actually think I want to do 15, because I have had weeks where I've taught like many classes in 1 week, just from like subbing off opportunities plus privates. And I think 15 might be a little too much, especially with travel time in New York City. So I'm going to refine that to 10. And I actually don't have room in my schedule right now for 10, which is an interesting thing. I probably have room in my schedule right now for about 6 for the next couple of weeks. And then after that, I would have room for, I have 1 now. I had 2. I lost 1. I have 1 now. So I need 9 more to get to 10. And I'm super type A also, Alina. So I actually tend to fill my schedule with all this stuff. Like I'm doing a work study at a meditation studio, just because I really like the people and I can take all the classes for free and learn from the teachers there. And if I don't have enough going on, I'll just say to a bunch of people I know, hey, do you want to come over on Monday night and I'll teach you yoga? And those are like small group classes, and I just have people do by donation for those. So yeah. So when you were asking, I think maybe Renee, like, do you have room in your schedule for that right now? I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have room in my schedule for what I want. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And once again, I just want to say, I think you're all awesome.
Thank you so much. I love it. Yeah, thanks for bringing that back up about like what do you actually have room for in your schedule right now. I want you all to ask yourself that, like how many clients, like if the clients were to start just appearing next week, how many do I actually have space for 2 reasons. Like 1, so that you can start getting clear, like what are you currently available for? And maybe just focusing on that for now, because maybe in a year you want to have 10 clients, but like, I'll also ask yourself like, well, what about next month? Like, yeah, what about in a couple of weeks? What do I have room for right now? And then maybe it's kind of like a more manageable number that doesn't feel as daunting, that like, yeah, you could go out and have conversations with 20 people and maybe 3 of them would become clients, like you start thinking about like ratios, like how many conversations do I need to have with people to turn like 1 or 2 or 3 of them into a client. And the other reason I want you to keep thinking about what am I available for is, and for you, Laura, is like, because you might want to become more available. You might be ready to clear some space, to remove some things that are currently holding you back in availability for bringing in those clients.
I'm in this mode because, again, I'm super type A like Elena, and I say yes to like everything right now, which I like because, like I said, I just love teaching yoga so much that if someone's like, hey, do you want to teach this class? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Even if it isn't my private yoga goal. So yeah, it is something to think about. And then I also like how you've been waving the little flag when the negative mantra comes up. So I've been trying to watch that for myself. And I think for me, it's that there's so many yoga teachers in New York. Like, how am I going to get the number of clients that I want when there's so many other people doing the same thing?
Yeah, watch out for that one, because I thought the same thing. And I think, this may be especially true in New York City, but if you're not in New York City, don't let this limit you. What I'm about to say, however many yoga teachers there may be here, there are a lot. There are there's like proportionately like that many more students. It's a huge city. So yes, there's a lot of yoga teachers, but are they all specializing in privates? Are they all really marketing their privates? No. And like there are just it's such a huge city. There's so many people who aren't doing yoga yet. And it's yoga. Like it's so mainstream now. Everybody knows yoga is great for you. Everybody wants to do yoga. So try to replace there's so many yoga teachers. I'm just another one in a sea, another fish in the sea. Replace that with, there are so many people in the city or wherever you live. There's so many people here who are still not doing yoga and would love to. Right? And would love private lessons.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. One quick cheerlead for Laura from Janelle.
I love that you have a support system in your life. You said Bob? I think,
Yep. Those are his guitars.
that is great, and I think it can help you in the directions that you want to go and that you're talking about. So the fact that he was encouraging you to go for your dream, I am right now for you. So keep going.
Thank you, Janelle.
Yes, Laura, and don't worry about how many yoga teachers there are in New York. They're not you. Okay?
I love that. Yeah, there's only one
you,
Laura.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that you're going back to your authentic self that you originally wanted to do like 18, 20 years ago. I think that's really neat.
Thank you.
I also think,
oh, go ahead.
I also just want to add that all of the different workshops that you're doing, all the other yoga instructors in New York may not be doing that, may not be able to offer those same things to private yoga students. So it seems like you have a lot to offer, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I love that you realized you didn't want to die without being a yoga teacher. Like, that really got me. Oh my God. Yes. Like, and
that would have really sucked to have been like, oh God, I forgot to do that. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Okay. Yeah. And for everyone, like, if building your own private business or selling your programs or like, just really making it as a yoga teacher full time, if that's like something you don't want to die without doing, like, make that your mantra. Like, I will not die without making this happen. It's kind of intense.
In Buddhism, you face death a lot. So.
Okay. Emily Shan, can we hear from you?
Hi. So I've been practicing yoga wait, did you ask for encouragement or am I telling myself?
Oh, no, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I've been practicing yoga for a little more than 4.5 years, and I knew within the first few months that one day I'd want to become a yoga teacher. But I was pursuing my master's in education at the time. So I've been teaching at a school. This will be my 3rd year teaching. I've been a certified yoga teacher for 1 year, and I did it through Breathe for Change, which is a yoga teacher training program that's designed for educators. And I did it because I really wanted to focus on the social emotional aspect of my students at school. So yeah, I've been certified for 1 year, and I've been teaching in small groups to the 5th graders at my school, but I want to do privates. Because I want to start working with adults, but I really don't like large groups. I'm really introverted. So because I'm a full-time public school educator, I want probably just 2 clients, really, just to have some extra income. Because, I still live at home, so I'm trying to save up with my boyfriend for a down payment for a house. And as you know, Brooklyn is very expensive. So I would like to have 2 clients that I can see regularly throughout the school year, and then hopefully have up to 6 clients in the summer that I'll see regularly. And that's basically it.
Beautiful. You can do it. Having I love that you have this small, manageable, all of your goals are perfect. Nobody's dreaming too big. There's no dreaming too big. But for Emily, getting 2 clients, honestly, Emily, I think if you really worked hard and did a little bit of marketing every single day for the next 2 weeks, I think you could probably have 2 clients in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's a matter of getting in there and spreading the word. And we're going to talk more about that in the calls, and you'll get way more information about how, so don't worry. just for time's sake, literally just one person, give a very quick cheerlead to Emily. Renee.
Hi, Emily. Well, Emily and I did our training together at Breathe for Change. So I know that you can do this, having had that experience with you, having seen you train as a teacher, and I know the gifts that you bring to a session. You have a real unique talent for that, the hands-on assist and alignment, and you're such a smart young lady. I know you can definitely, like, whatever you put your mind to, you're going to be able to do it.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So Janelle's going to go next, and then everybody's gone, right? Yes. Are you guys, would anyone freak out if we stayed on until 9:40, just so that, like, Janelle doesn't have to rush, and then I can tell you your homework? Everyone's okay? If anyone really needs to leave at 9:30, go. I'm going to email the homework, so no worries. But Janelle.
Hi, everybody. So what I discovered after hearing everybody, I always knew I was an introvert, but I love people, but small groups. But I just found out I'm type A, and I'm trying to settle myself with that. So that's kind of like a big deal right now. I've been teaching yoga for 8 years, and I also do Thai body work. And I have burnt out pretty bad over the last at least 4 years. And this last 2 years, I kind of want to die because I was utterly exhausted and very broke. And I felt like the world was going to swallow me whole, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being in this position and struggling so freaking bad to eat and pay my bills. And I have done so many trainings and workshops over a very long period of time that I have a lot to offer, and it's not working in group classes. So I want to do privates. And interestingly, Emily, that you brought that question about the number. So a couple weeks ago, I had some lavish time to myself on a train ride that was like 2.5 hours. And I sat down and I just started writing out my schedule of like how many hours per day I could physically put private clients in. And as I was going through, I was like, wow, I don't have that much time right now. I want to start out slow because there are a few group classes I don't want to give up yet, because I do like teaching group classes, and I also teach seniors. It's now called therapeutics, but I don't want to let go of that. So I want to ease into it, and I need a freaking break. I need to take care of myself better. I need to open my mind. I need headspace. I want to work more on my own practice. And I want to make a lot of money. I'm going to be very honest with that. I've been freaking pathetically broke for the last 10 years, and it's no longer okay. And I'm sick of like people like tiptoeing around me around that. And I'm sick of tiptoeing around the subject and dealing with all that money stuff. I'm freaking terrified about this whole thing. And I have all those voices on my shoulders that will always tell me that I suck and that I can't do shit. And my family does not help in that situation. So I have to keep to myself and not say anything and pretend everything's great when it's really freaking not most of the time. But I do have really great students, and some of them have become good friends. So that is very helpful, and that keeps me going a lot. I'm struggling with the private yoga, and that's why I'm here with Emily, and I did Emily's course in this, I think it was the spring. I've got some issues, clearly. So I hope that I can get out of my comfort zone. I really try to get out of my comfort zone. I talk about it all the time, so I feel like I need to get a few more things in place to get there. And that quote I always think about, I've talked about it to Emily, by Jim Rohn, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And that is so freaking true. So I'm either by myself with those voices, or I'm around other people that are not supportive or don't understand where I'm trying to go and what I want to do and how much I want to serve. and that I'm sorry, I forgot who mentioned alignment. I think it was Cheryl. I freaking love alignment, and seeing someone being able to change and the lights in their face and how they're able to expand and open. And I see that with yoga and Thai body work, and I just want to be able to serve on a bigger level and get paid really, really well. Like, tell us, enough of this. That's it. I think that's all I have to say.
Love it, Janelle. Love it.
Good for you. Yeah, really proud of you. I see a lot of growth since you were at my place in June. Janelle was there for my Building Your Private Yoga Business coaching retreat, which is an in-person event. Most of you have heard me talk about it. I see a lot of growth because when you were there with me that weekend, I don't know that you really had the fire that you just expressed, like I'm ready, I'm over it, I'm like, no more bullshit, like I'm ready to make money doing what I love as a yoga teacher. I've been doing this for a long time, I deserve it. And like, there seems like there's like a real readiness that wasn't there before. Is that true?
It is, and also I've gotten some sleep, which I was really not having much sleep, which was also killing me, literally. So that has helped, and I was teaching to be here, I had to give up 3 classes at this gym that I really couldn't stand, but I felt so obligated to be there because I need to pay my bills. So I just left without a parachute. I don't have a backup plan yet. I need that money, but it wasn't serving me on so many levels. So I gave them my 2 weeks. I have Friday, and then I'm completely done. So certain things like that have changed where I'm able to get some sleep, and I was able to, for this holiday weekend, I was able to go to the shore, and I got some yoga photos.
I'm sorry, what was that? You got some what?
Yoga photos.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I haven't been able to go through it because I just ran into teaching as soon as I got back. But so those 2 things have happened, and even my Thai bodywork client, he noticed that my sessions have been really awesome on a deeper level, and I'm like, yeah, I have my brain back, and I've gotten some sleep, so I have this space to like offer so much more that I couldn't physically offer before. So I think that was the biggest change.
Good for you. Congrats. Yeah. Keep going. Cut the bullshit out of your life.
Oh yeah.
Just cut it out. And I know it's scary, and it takes a lot of courage to let go of things that you're not exactly sure how you're going to replace the income yet. But like what you just said is really powerful, that like you cut some bullshit out of your life, you got some rest, you took care of yourself, and your bodywork client noticed and like had like a better experience with you, right?
Yeah.
And trust that and keep going with that, and cut the things out that you're no longer available for, which brings us back to the beginning of this call, right? When I asked you, like, what are you no longer available for? Was that on this call? That was, right? Okay. Sometimes I'm like, wait, was that when I went live today? Was that like an article I was writing? No. What are you no longer available for? You're no longer available for the bullshit. Good for you. And by the way, that Thai yoga client, the bodywork, have you asked him, like in that moment when he's like, wow, Janelle, you're awesome, like that was a great session, that's a moment to say, I'm so glad, I'm really looking to do more one-on-one work. Do you know anyone who's interested? Have you asked him?
No, I didn't. And he's actually been my Thai bodywear client for like 5 years. He's been consistently, he always buys a 10-pack, and that's been keeping me pretty much alive. Except for this month, I don't know what I'm going to do because it's still in the middle. But so I was thinking about asking when he comes for this session on Friday, how to broach that, because I'm kind of screwed with money for this month. I'm not focusing on it. I'm not allowing myself to think about that negativity.
Okay.
So I'll do that.
Are you telling me you have never in 5 years asked this man if he knows people, other people who would be interested in working with you? You've never told him that you're available, you have?
Well, I don't think I've asked him directly like that, because he would mention that he wanted to get a gift certificate for some people, and then it fell through or they moved away. So I don't think I've been that direct with it, but I will.
That is your personal homework. You need to immediately, because this is kind of an emergency in your case, right? Immediately communicate to him. And I taught you this in June. I'm going to teach it again for everybody right now. This is what you say. You say, what's his name?
Ismail.
Ismail? You say, Ismail, I just love working with you. You're a fantastic client. I value our work together so much. I would love to work with like 3 more people just like you. And be honest and be authentic and say, between you and me, I'm going through a transition right now, getting rid of the bullshit in my life. I'm not teaching group classes anymore that aren't worth it for me. I'm letting go. And I'm focusing on private clients. I would love to work with more people just like you. I would so appreciate any referrals you have. I'll do a free intro session for anyone you send my way.
He does know part of that. I did mention when he said, wow, this is different. I said, yes, I'm making some major transition in my life.
Good.
And I did mention that I'm lessening the group classes. I'm focusing more on privates. So I just need to finish that part and ask him for a referral.
Okay. That's the really most important part.
Yeah, I kind of forget those things.
Like, and maybe the hardest part, the scariest part. You say all of that, bring that back up, be like, hey, Ismail, you know how I was telling you that I'm going through this transition? He'll be like, yeah. Be like, so maybe you can help. This guy loves you. He's been working with you for 5 years. Janelle, he wants to help you.
We have a really great connection relationship. It's like he really appreciates my work, so that's a big deal. And I think he likes me as a person too.
I'm sure he does. He would not be working with you for 5 years if he doesn't like you as a person.
That's true.
Okay. Ask the people, everyone, ask the people in your life who love you and care about you and appreciate your work. Ask them for help. Say, I'm building a business. This is really important to me. Do you know anybody that would be interested in working? Ask them. They want to help. Okay? Yay. All right. Okay. I have little notes for your homework.
Wait, I just want to say, Janelle, I think it's awesome I need to give her some positive feedback. Sorry, I'm moved.
I'll look up.
I think it's great. You're like right there. You're just right on the edge. You're on your edge and you're being straightforward about it. And you have so much good energy and momentum going. So yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, really amazing work. So you don't have to write this down unless you want to. I'm going to send you all of this along with the recording of tonight's call in case you want to go over it. There's quite a few items. The first thing is I'm going to send you a worksheet. It's called Emily's Rate Calculator. And Janelle has already done it. She did it in June. You can do it again. And so for those of you that are all of you, I think are still kind of playing around with what's the rate I'm going to charge. This is sort of like a let yourself dream and be honest with yourself type of exercise. So it's a little calculation exercise that's based on your goals, based on what you would like to earn annually and how much of your time you would like to dedicate to teaching. It'll tell you plug in this number, divide by, multiply by, and it'll give you a rate, which in my words I also say is the number at which you must begin to value your time. The hourly rate at which you must begin to value your time. Okay, so you'll do that, and we'll talk about that next time. You might get a number that is whoa, that's a lot more than I was thinking to charge. Don't freak out. We'll talk about it next time. So that's your worksheet. Your action homework is to contact 5 people and tell them that you're shifting focus to private clients and ask them if they know anybody and say you're doing free intro sessions for anybody who's interested. Okay, so just reach out to 5 people. I don't care how you reach out, email, phone, text, when you see somebody in person, but between now and next week, try to tell 5 people. And, you know, if you, and try to have it be like a 2-way interaction. So if you email 5 people, but don't hear back from any of them, that doesn't really count. Like, you know, try to like get somebody on the phone or get them to text you back. Like try to get a response. And don't play it too safe. Okay. If you're just texting because it's safer, push yourself a little bit, pick up the phone, call somebody, or you know, when you run into somebody and you're like, oh, maybe this is somebody I could tell, but you're feeling a little too afraid to, do it. Okay, me on your shoulder. Okay, Janelle, none of those bad voices on your shoulder. Me on your shoulder telling you to do it. Extra credit is 10 people. Tell 10 people between now and next Wednesday. That's extra credit. And lastly, module 2 next week is part 1 of the art of the private lesson. So next week, we're going to talk about what to do in a private yoga lesson. Those of you that are more experienced teachers, you are experts, and you are more than welcome to, you know, offer your expertise, because I realize that you may not be looking for that information as much. You know what to do on a session, but some of us are newer, or even you're kind of a little bit in, but you've been teaching groups. You want to understand privates a little better. You are welcome to send your questions about the topic ahead of time so that I can tailor, like I'll talk a little bit at the beginning of every call. And if you send me your questions ahead, I'll tailor what I present based on your questions. And I'm saying that especially for those of you that are watching the recording right now, send your questions ahead of time with more than 24 hours before the call. And that way I can address your questions even if you're not on the call. And Helena, I know that you can't make every call, so like that's for you. And the question should be specific to the topic. Yeah? Yeah. Questions? And then we should go because I know it's late. Any questions about the assignment or anything? Okay.
You sent out a list of the weeks. I don't know if I saw that in an email. Was it?
Yep. I'll resend that, and there may be one switch. There may be one switcheroo of the 2 modules might get flipped with the dates. Just because of the availability of one of the expert guest speakers. By the way, I can announce who our first expert guest speaker is, and that's going to be on Art of the Private Lesson Part 2. That's going to be Kristen Boyle. She is Denver-based senior teacher, and she runs the Facebook group Business of Yoga. And she and I have become friends, and she's awesome. And she's going to join us, and she's been teaching like 10 years or something, and so she'll offer some expertise on how to approach the session. And she's a yoga therapist, so she has that perspective. The other expert speakers, I'm still kind of locking in, so I won't say who they are yet, but they're all fantastic, and that's going to be great. Okay?
Can I just add one thing?
Please.
I love the sense of community that comes from these type of groups, and so I will be very active on the Facebook group that we're all in for this. And so I like to keep it going in between calls. So I know everybody's busy, but I intend to spend time there.
I appreciate that. And I encourage you all to do the same. Yeah. And like friend each other, you know, like let's make lifelong connections here. Like let's stay in touch. So why don't we just close by, can everybody just like take a moment and think of one word, just one word to close with, like maybe what you're feeling right now, or something you just kind of want to offer to the group to close with.
Metta.
The thing that is sticking out in my mind is that each of us have gifts to share. That one line that you said is still sticking with me. we each have our own gift and a special way of sharing it, and yeah.
Thank you.
Positive mantra.
Prosperity.
Encouragement.
Believe.
Empowerment.
Excitement.
Is that it? Was there one more? Okay. Grateful. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
You guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.